Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into something that might seem kind of small, hobbies. But what if I told you that what a country does for fun can tell you a ton about it? Stick around because you're about to see just how much.
I mean, really think about it. A hobby. What can it possibly tell you about an entire country? Well, it turns out it's like this incredible window. How people choose to spend their free time, it shows you what they value, what's happening with the economy, and yeah, how a society is literally changing right before our eyes.
And there is probably no better place on earth to see this in action than China. I mean, the transformation there has been so incredibly fast, and you can see that entire story mirrored in, of all things, what people do for fun.
So what we're going to do is look at these differences, right across the generations, from little kids all the way up to seniors. And by doing that, we're going to piece together this huge, fascinating story of modern China. It's kind of like a tour through their culture, their tech, and what it even means to live there right now.
All right, so first things first, we need a baseline, right? So let's start with the bookends of the population, the very youngest and the very oldest. Their hobbies, they tell us a lot about the core foundational values of Chinese society.
Okay, look at this. You can see this massive difference in why they have hobbies. For kids, it's all about development and learning, building for the future. But for seniors, it's totally different. It's about health, it's about community, and it's about enriching the here and now.
So for kids in China, you'll see a lot of these hobbies are actually encouraged by their parents. And it's not just about having fun, it's really seen as personal growth. They're like literal building blocks for their future. Drawing, dancing, sports, all these things are viewed as ways to build useful skills, get some confidence, and even help with their education. It starts super young.
Now, if we flip to the other end of the spectrum, with older adults, it's a whole different ballgame. Their hobbies are really about staying healthy and, crucially, staying social. You might be picturing the classics, right? Tai Chi in the park, calligraphy, and yeah, that's definitely there. But what's super interesting is this new trend. Seniors are hitting the gym. They're traveling a lot after they retire. It just goes to show you, things are getting way more active and diverse for everyone.
Okay, so we've set the stage. Now, let's talk about the younger generation. Because this, right here, is where things get really wild. The changes are dramatic. Their hobbies, they're not just about learning a skill or staying healthy. No, it's about something else entirely.
This is the key. The whole purpose of a hobby has shifted. For them, it's a tool for self-expression, for finding your people, your tribe, and honestly, for finding some emotional well-being in a world that's moving a million miles an hour. And that is a huge change from their parents' or grandparents' generations.
And yeah, you can totally see how technology and modern life are just shaping everything. The digital world is literally their playground. We're talking about everything from serious competitive gaming to creating content for social media. These hobbies just scream creativity, individualism, and a life lived online.
Okay, check this out. This is a perfect example of what we're talking about. There's this massive trend of collecting blind boxes. You know what these are? They're these little sealed packages, and you have no idea which collectible toy's inside. It's all about that thrill of the surprise and the satisfaction of finally getting the whole set. It perfectly connects this idea of consumerism with, like, genuine emotional fulfillment.
And don't think this is all happening alone in their rooms. Hobbies are now like the #1 way young people make friends. It's less about just hanging out and more about finding a partner for a specific thing. Like, hey, who wants to travel with me? Or I need a gym buddy. Or even, let's find someone to go study with. These shared interests, that's the new social glue holding friendships together.
All right, so we've looked at the kids, the seniors, the young adults. Let's pull it all together now. What kind of picture does this paint of modern life in China?
Yeah, this table really lays it all out, doesn't it? You can see the whole progression of life. For kids, it's all about skill development. Then you hit your youth, and it's about self-expression, gaming, creating stuff. As adults, people are looking for balance. Things like cooking or fitness. And then for seniors, it comes back to health and community. Every single stage of life has its own reason for having a hobby.
But at the end of the day, here's the real takeaway. Every generation tells us a piece of the story, for sure. But it's the hobbies of the young people, the creative, the tech-focused, the self-expressive stuff that give us the most vivid, high-definition picture of China's transformation. They're basically a living, breathing report on where the country is right now and maybe, just maybe, where it's going next.
So, that kind of leaves us with one last question, doesn't it? A question for you. If your hobbies tell a story, what does that story say about the world you live in? What does it say about you? Something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.